So Belle Meade itself is named after a huge plantation.
Okay.
And they had a breeding farm. And on the actual label itself, there are two horses, one by the name of Bonnie Scotland and the other called Brown Dick.
This is the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Tasting a whiskey with a lot of history behind it is always fun. Such was the case when we sat down with Colonel Craig Duncan of Whiskey University and got a guided tasting and some history on Belle Meade bourbon. This bourbon has a storied past in the realm of Kentucky whiskey making. Check it out. Welcome to this episode of the Great American Whiskey Cookers. I am here in Tennessee and I'm at Whiskey University sitting with Colonel Craig Duncan, who's the founder, president, CEO, and director of Whiskey University. So before we get started into this one, which I'm super excited about, and we're doing some tastings here, tell me a little bit about Whiskey University and what it is.
Whiskey University is a school that teaches people about the basics, intermediate, and advanced parts of bourbon whiskey, rye whiskey, Tennessee whiskey, and Canadian whiskey. We teach 128 classes. 114 of those 128 classes are about North American whiskeys. So we want to take you deep down the rabbit hole about all things North American whiskey.
Love it. All right, so we're doing a tasting. There's 2,300 whiskeys in Whiskey University's library. Craig has pulled something that, number one, you can't get right now. It's been a while since you've been able to get it.
Right.
But you've got a story and you have some other knowledge of this whiskey, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that and tell me what we're going to taste.
Well, sure. So first of all, a distillery opened up in Nashville in 2013 that was called Nelson's Greenbrier. Nelson's Greenbrier, let me say it right. And Nelson's Greenbrier is a wonderful distillery that was started by the Nelson brothers, who realized that their great-great-grandfather was a whiskey distiller and made a brand called Belle Meade. It was one of the original Tennessee whiskeys using the Lincoln County process, but unlike a lot of other Tennessee whiskeys, the second ingredient in those Tennessee whiskeys of the original Belle Meade was wheat. Now, when they first started the distillery, they came out with the Belle Meade brand. And the Belle Meade brand was basically set up to get them started. It was sourcing from two very, very famous distilleries in Kentucky and Indiana and bottling their product. In some cases, bottling their product after it had aged in Tennessee for a while, or aged in Tennessee and then was finished in another used cooperage of some type. But Belle Meade itself, over a period in time, the company, the two brothers, Andy and Charlie Nelson, sold the distillery to Constellation Brands, a wonderful company that was just acquired by Berkshire Hathaway. Very big company.
Yep.
But to make a long story short, Andy and Charlie Nelson eventually left after the corporate takeover and corporate merger. Yeah, well,
all of that stuff went together.
So after a good number of years, they walked away and they negotiated to get the Belle Meade brand back.
Because you haven't been able to get this for a while.
No, they have been phasing it out over the last 3 years. It was available throughout Tennessee about 2 or 3 years ago. It was available only at the distillery in 2023 and the beginning of 2024, and then it disappeared.
But
It's coming back, a reemergence. Both Andy and Charlie Nelson have bought a little tiny old post office in Dixon, Tennessee, and are turning that into a distillery and reviving the Belle Meade brand with a negotiated settlement with Constellation Brands. So Belle Meade itself is named after a huge plantation just in the southern part of Nashville. And this plantation was famous for the race horses that they produced
Okay.
and they had a breeding farm. And on the actual label itself, there are two horses, one by the name of Bonnie Scotland and the other called Brown Dick. Now, Bonnie Scotland is one of the most famous sires of all time. Even though the name Bonnie Scotland sounds like it's a girl, it was a stud. And almost every single significant racehorse of the last 50 years is a progeny of Bonnie Scotland, including Secretariat, Native Diver, Native Dancer, Oxbow.
So there's lineage and history from horse racing built into this brand.
Right in it. Yes. And now today's version that we chose was an older version, which was made by the Nelson Brothers and Constellation brands.
Okay.
So once again, this is not the new Nelson Brothers whiskey.
Right.
It is Constellation brands made at Nelson Greenbrier and no longer available, but this is a sherry finished bourbon.
Okay. So a finished bourbon, which is going to be a little bit different. And that sherry is going to add some flavor to it. Oh, I can't wait for this. I love a good finished bourbon. And we've already poured some for the big human and for Kirk. So they get to try. You can see the color on this. This is like super deep red. I mean, it's just...
Picture the Belle Meade plantation on the back of the bottle.
Red, crushed red fruit on the nose.
Crushed red fruit.
Yeah, like red grapes, like black grapes, right? It's crushed from...
Who crushes red fruit for you?
Well, if you ever been to a winery when they're crushing it,
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's got that really thick, sugary red fruit nose to it.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take a second and show you how a friend of ours taught us how to smell whiskey.
Yes, let's do that.
Greg Item at the Sugarlands Distillery actually taught us if you cap your whiskey glass, stir it around, and when you bring it up to your nose, suck in through your mouth and nose at the same time, then breathe out through both as well. And the experience that you'll get is much more in depth. And then after you do that once, then take the glass from left to right with one nostril and the other way. And the reason that we do that is because one nostril is dominant over the other. The problem is we don't know from day to day which one's dominant. It's based on how you slept the night before, the pollen in the air, how your sinuses are breathing that day, and your dominant nostril changes from day to day. So by doing this, you're getting more receptacles in your nose and in your mouth up front, and then you're finding out which is the dominant nostril. That in itself should get you more aromas, but we don't do it a whole lot because people make fun of us.
Yeah. My wife
looks kind of funny.
My wife would have a field day with that.
Try it.
I'm not trying that in front of my wife. I'm not trying that in front of my wife.
Be a lot deeper.
Yeah.
You'll get a lot deeper of a aroma on it. How about on the palate?
It's rich, thick. It's got
not Brown Dick.
Not Brown Dick, no.
Sorry, that was bad.
Oh my God.
Cut that out.
No, we're not cutting that out. That's staying. Oh my God.
More along the Bonnie Scott.
Yeah, more along the Bonnie Scott. No, it's got this, I don't want to say apple butter. The Colonel's losing it. I mean, we've already been tasting for a couple hours. So, but yeah, it's got like this apple butter thickness to it.
Ooh.
And that's
Like-
cherry?
Apple butter, raisin butter,
Yeah.
something.
Like, yeah,
I get raisin on this, and I know the big human gets raisin on a lot of things.
almost
You're
like
going to get it on this.
almost like a raisin pudding.
Oh, yes. So Belle Meade itself, the original Belle Meade has a bourbon, a cask strength, a Belle Meade Reserve, but they were famous for their finishes. Sherry finish, cask strength sherry finish.
Got it.
Madeira finish, cask strength Madeira finish. Mourvedre finish, cask strength.
I've never heard of Mourvedre.
Yes. I'm trying to think, the apple brandy, what's that called? Calvados? Calvados and a Calvados cask strength. You got to try that. Too.
Okay, so before we leave this, before we
Yes.
wrap this up, real quick, I want you to explain what is the Lincoln County process.
So the Lincoln County process, this is a bourbon. It's not a Tennessee whiskey, so it doesn't fall in that category. But the Lincoln County process is anything that says Tennessee whiskey on it must go through the Lincoln County process. And I'll start by telling you, people in the North and people in the South feel different about the Lincoln County process.
They do.
There's a line that goes right across the Kentucky-Tennessee border. People in Tennessee will tell you, when you strain your whiskey through sugar maple charcoal, it's like a Brita filter, takes out all the impurities and actually makes the whiskey smoother. Hence, smooth as Tennessee whiskey.
Right.
Up north in Kentucky, they tell you that when you strain it through sugar maple charcoal, it contaminates it. And it's not good like bourbon. But I'll tell you, being a homeboy from here in Tennessee, got to side with the Southerners. So
So there you go. Now you know what the Lincoln County process.
the Lincoln County process,
Got to go through.
as of 2013, Tennessee whiskey is defined by having to go through the Lincoln County process first.
Fair enough. Okay, so if they want to find out more information about Whiskey University, how do they do that?
Simply go to whiskeyuniv.com, and simply because you're a viewer of the Whiskey Cookers, if you will go to the button that says Get Started, fill out those 8 fields that are on there, and basically say you were referred by a podcast, and put in there it was Whiskey Cookers, we'll give you 4 free classes.
Gotta love it. You can find us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can find our website, greatamericanwhiskeycookers.com, or you can become a Patreon member and provide us some support. We would really appreciate it. And a big thank you to our Patreon members as they currently sit. Colonel, we end every episode with the same toast. If you can't be good at it, my friend.
Thank you. Look forward.